Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Novak. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Uh, Jim sent me this picture of his ReptiZoo lighting arms. And as you remember, I talked about adding a ultra bright GE light to these cans that you can buy off the internet for your can lights. And of course, what these lights are made for, and the brackets as you see, they're made for reptile aquariums. But you can use them for fish tanks because I've been using them for fish tanks for a long time. I use them on the antique aquarium years and years ago, and they work just fine for that purpose. He he says that his tank is very deep. Jim does, and he had to duct tape the bracket together to make it higher so it would be above the aquarium. But this is the double arm one, and as you see here, this is the single arm ones. They're not that expensive, but you'll have to judge, which ones you want to use over your aquarium and how high they can go. And as you can see, his aquarium here, you can see actually, if you look at this picture here, you can see on the left and right side, the bright light coming into the aquarium. Now he says this is a deep aquarium, and yet the light is penetrating all the way down, and he has excellent plant growth. I've been using the lights also, and I've had very good success with them. I use them on my 90 gallon. I use them on the antique aquarium. I use them on the goldfish aquarium, these lights. And the thing about it is the initial cost may be a little bit because the light bulbs are really not cheap. But the good thing of it is if you buy a strip light, for example, and I'll just give like a Fluval, for example, they start at like $175 at least for a strip light. And if you start having those LEDs go out on you, what do? Really. Or if the light goes out on you, what do? You'll have to send it back to Fluval or whatever, and then you're without lights. Well, I went this route versus the buying of the lights because buying of the lights, a lot of these lights are coming from China, and they're using cheap LEDs. And the LED, if you little diodes themselves actually are burning out. Not that anything is malfunctioning with the light, but if they put cheap LEDs in and they don't last and they burn out, it doesn't complete the circuit and the light doesn't work. So you have to go there and tear the whole light apart and find out which LED burnt out, unsolder that LED and resolder it. You know what I mean? It's not for somebody who doesn't know enough about electronics and doesn't know how to use a soldering iron. But anyway, and they didn't guarantee their workmanship, I found out. So the AZoo 120s are out. I would not highly even recommend it, only because they don't guarantee their work. It's coming from China and they don't care. All they want to do is sell a product, and they must buy thousands of these LEDs, and they're probably cheap or out of spec LEDs, and they don't work. Where the GE light, they're not going to do that. They have a reputation. They have guarantees. The lights are guaranteed for 15,000 hours. And if it burns out, you just unscrew it, put a new one in, and it's that simple. You can buy them at the hardware store. But as you can see, they seem to work quite well. And because people have asked me about the arms, like, well, where do I get an arm if I want to do this? It's just the ReptiZoo lighting arms you can buy. You can buy the double, as you see what Jim has, or you can buy the single ones, as you see on the antique aquariums. So it gives you a few options. But anyway, I want to thank Jim for sending me the picture on that to update everything. Okay, what we're looking at is Manesh Aquarium. He is from India, and he states, I have a natural aquarium, and he's a natural aquarium keeper with no filters, no air stones, no CO2, and no fertilizer. I believe nature takes care of itself. I have a 23-gallon tank, which I have kept for more than 10 years without a water change, only top up due to evaporation. Have hard water in my city. The plants I have is Vallisneria, money plant, and peace lily. My aquarium is heavily stocked with 25 fish and love the green hair algae as the aquarium gets sunlight for 5 hours a day. And here is some photos of Manesh's aquarium. And I want to thank Manesh for sending this aquarium. It looks like, from what I'm seeing here, he has a sand bottom aquarium with a strip light. And that's pretty good that with a lot of plants, he's been able to keep his aquarium stable by using just plants alone. The unusual part, well, I guess it's not unusual, but I was going to say the unusual part would be if he is using no air stones or anything, if the fish get enough oxygen, but he says he has 25 fish. Let's see. The fish, let's see what it states. Okay, the fish he has are platies, mollies, golden algae eaters, and some tetras. The fish are really not low oxygen fish. They're high oxygen fish, but apparently he must be getting enough oxygen into the water where these fish seem to be able to sustain themselves without any needed or added oxygen to the aquarium. And I want to thank Manesh for sending me these pictures of his aquarium. And now we'll go on. Let's see, what else do I have here? Okay, now we're looking at a homemade filter here. This is Rawls' homemade filter, and I'll read you some of what he has. He has a 3-gallon glowfish tank with original black plastic wall filter box removed because of bad design, causing big dead spots of bad water flow in the filter box. Let's see, homemade do-it-yourself under gravel filter, black sectional, plated, slow-flowing plenum, modified with Lee's uplift tube section, cut out and glued, just like I show in my video. Step-by-step instructions on my setup of the 40-gallon breeder in the lanai, if you remember that video. And that was September 29, 2021 is when I did that video. Okay. Then we have layered with oil drive, largest rock only. The small stones, sand, and dust were sifted out. Then Brightwell laterite. Then glowfish multicolor gravel was placed in. Homemade, do-it-yourself F-zone style internal canister filter made with some pump previously removed from dismantled filter box. I guess the aquarium came with a built-in filter box with a little pump in it. Then filled with similar layer of plenum filter media, sponge, separators, and BCB bag, only scaled down to a smaller scale. This was also shown into a video that I did, so that's where he got the idea. The LED blue and white glow light array come with a tank. It came with the tank as a kit, which causes lots of algae. So I put 4 sheets of wax paper on top of the glass tank top to filter the dampen the light intensity down, reducing algae a whole lot. So yeah, if this is one of those, we see them a lot, right? They're already done kind of tanks. You get a light with them, you get a filter with them. It looks like the light can't dim down. Well, it's probably a inexpensive aquarium, comes with everything, and they usually don't have any way to dim down the lights. So he used the wax paper to do it. I never even thought of that. Um, a long time ago, of course, you can get glass. I remember you can get clear glass or you can get frosted glass in case you had very bright light and you needed to tame it down. In fact, you can order frosted glass from any glass shop. Tell them what size you want, and you can tell them whether you want it frosted or not. That would probably do the trick if you had a light you just can't turn down. Um, let's see. Only one full-grown orange female glowfish and 2 mystery snails are in the tank, and that's it. No room for nothing more. No live plants, no aquascaping, no shrimps, no breeding, no CO2, no sump, and no interest in any of these either. Okay, just fish and snails. Hey, that's perfectly fine with me. I want to thank Rawl for sending me. I hope I'm saying his name right, Rawl. In Chicago. Just simple, easy to take care of, low maintenance aquarium. Nothing wrong with that. I've even seen, since we're on the subject, or I'm on the subject, I've even seen people have aquariums, and this is no lie, and all they had was snails. That's all they wanted. And they were perfectly happy with it. I've seen people with aquariums where they may have a couple of crayfish. That's all they want. They want an aquarium, they decorate it up, and they want a crayfish. They have no desire to have fish, and they have no desire to have snails. It's just the way some people want their aquariums to be set up. You can't even call them fish tanks because some of them have 0 fish populating the tank, and that's it. They're happy. They're happy campers with what they got. They don't need to keep adding more and more and more until they overdo everything. I want to thank everybody for sending me these pictures. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. I know I enjoyed the video. I want to thank people who have sent me pictures. Please be patient. I'm getting to everybody who has sent me pictures. I'll get your tank on. I think the tanks and ideas that people have, do-it-yourselfers, that's really quite amazing, because a lot of people, they don't have the money or they don't want to spend the money. Or some people, they have the money and they just like doing do-it-yourself projects. I kind of like doing do-it-yourself projects. That's part of the ambience of, I don't know, having an aquarium that when you get to think and plan everything out and do it yourself, you don't have to go out and buy already made where you have to modify things. And that to me is part of the fun. It keeps you busy for a day where you're thinking of how you're going to modify something. I think a lot of people are that way. They just like doing it themselves, getting hands-on. Yeah, it may not be perfect, but who cares? You did it yourself. You accomplished something yourself, and it's something you could be proud of. You just didn't, with today, that when we look at the aquariums, right, and we see some of these very expensive aquariums being sold, and even I'm guilty of it. You get an aquarium and it already has a weir built in it. You get all the tubing, piping, you get the sump, you even get the pumps, you get everything. You know what I mean? There's not much challenge into that. Just put A to B and connect it all together and you're ready to go. But it's kind of neat to see people take something old and make it new, or take something old and make it work, or design something themselves. If it works, that's great, because sometimes you can't buy the right filter that you want. So you can go to a store and you'll see a container or something, say, I can make a filter out of this. I don't need to buy one. And you have a nice little homemade project to work on. I kind of like that myself. I think that's part of the hobby that makes it fun for all of us. At least it makes it fun for me. Maybe some people would think, no, I don't want to go through that much trouble. But for myself, I find it to be part of the ambience of the whole hobby, that you do things yourself. And what many people do because of wherewithals or anything else, just may be in short supply. But I want to thank everybody. I have more coming up, more videos, more people's aquariums. I like seeing them, so keep the pictures coming. It's on my video, my email, so you can send them to me. I will get to everybody. So I wish to thank everybody for participating. I want to thank everybody for signing up and subscribing to my channel. I know that you must hear this from other channels and things like that, but I sincerely mean it. I want to thank everybody because it shows that everybody is showing an interest. People aren't, what can I say, jumping on the gravy train of thinking there's only one way to do something, or some people like to make it's my way or the highway, and it's not. We all have choices. Just like I showed you the fella from India. He's doing it his way. He's got no pumps, no filters, no bubblers, no CO2, and look how nice his tank looks, right? He's doing it his way. And if it works, all the better. So I want to thank everybody for participating and sending me the pictures and everything. I will try to get to the pictures you have sent. And until next time, happy fish keeping, and thank you very much for watching my video and for subscribing.